You were given a unique superpower that is already in your brain, and once you find it, it changes how you do everything. You're kind of like this fish. Nothing special on the surface, but there's that one thing you're weirdly exceptional at.
When I wake up,
And it's not something obvious, like painting, selling, or storytelling, or... No, it's a lot more intricate and beneath the surface. It doesn't matter if you're already in a career that you enjoy, or you're currently feeling lost looking for what's next. This will make you more effective and give you a clear direction. And I'll prove it to you. Because when you look at people who are thriving in their careers, those who are at the top of their field, and they love what they do, they all leverage their superpower. Consciously or unconsciously. It's a unique combination of your genetic blueprint and your early life experience and how you developed. Because when you identify your superpower, not only will work become energizing, enjoyable, and deeply fulfilling, but also your results will skyrocket because no one can compete with you on that thing. What a waste it would be to live your life without realizing what you were made for. It's like Eminem never uncovered his lyrical talent, and instead he became a comic book artist, which was actually his first interest. I'm sure he would have been good at it, but not world class. So what we're going to explore in this video is what is a superpower, how to identify it, and mostly that's just around removing things that are blocking you, that are getting in the way. And lastly, how to leverage it in your life, career, or business. And as Mark Twain said, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find this video and watch it to the end, hopefully, because it's something valuable in here. Want to hear a funny joke? Mark and his friend go to a bar. And the friend asks him, "Mark, what's your favorite mode of transportation?" "Twain." Let's get into what superpower actually means and where it comes from. Because once you understand this, it becomes much easier to find it. I went through this entire journey myself. I hated my first business, had to push myself to do work, ended up selling it, and then I felt lost. And it took me years to find something that I was passionate about. And even once I found it, I was wasting so much time on things that weren't my unique superpower. Since then, I've gotten really clear on it, and I've worked with countless young professionals and dozens of high-level entrepreneurs who felt lost and were drowning in overthinking. So they reached out to me and asked,
I am under the water, please help me.
A lot of people talk about finding your passion, finding your purpose, so that you fall in love with what you do. But I would say there's something much deeper hidden underneath that drives everything you do. And it's something that's already within you that determines what passions you develop in the first place.
And it's what I would describe as your nature. Get it? Because we're in nature and I talk about nature. What a great idea.
It's how you think, feel, and operate automatically to approach a problem or a situation, and it's how you naturally show up when no one tells you what to do or how to do something. Think of it as the default settings of your brain.
Once you get this, you'll notice it everywhere. When you look at the most successful people, they're in a field or a profession or in a business that leverages their nature.
In other words, what's required to succeed, they're naturally wired for. Think about top entrepreneur Elon Musk. His brain is always running engineering problems regardless. He just directs it in his companies now. Top comedians, let's say someone like Theo Von, his brain simply thinks in unique ways and makes connections automatically that others don't see.
Have you seen that clip where he talks about what jiu-jitsu is like?
And they get in these different predicaments. You know, like one of them trying to protect a little raspberry and the other one trying to get that berry. It's like they're both looking for something, but neither one of them has it.
I'm sure you and I could do it too if you give us enough time, but it would take a ton of effort.
Imagine seeing something. Now imagine not seeing it. That was me.
If you look at the top creator, Mr. Beast, what most people don't know about him is that he loves playing strategy board games. And that's what YouTube is to him. It's allocation of resources and strategic risk. He literally won tournaments playing board games. Let's pick a top interviewer like Oprah. She's naturally good at making people feel seen and getting them to open up. How much of this is born versus trained? It's an interesting discussion.
When you're talking like Theo Von, I don't think you can learn to have a brain like Theo.
I think it is unintentionally learned
In early childhood development and
and then intentionally amplified.
yes.
Either way, by now, it's how they're wired.
What do you think of the content, huh?
From this perspective, great.
And this is where you'll find your superpower. Your nature is infinitely complex, like a fingerprint, because it's made up of a combination of countless traits. Just to name a few, are you big picture or detail oriented? Are you more abstract or concrete? Are you internally processing or externally processing? There are thousands of distinctions like this. In an ideal world, your business or your profession or the strategy that you choose for these things is an extension of all these traits. Now, your superpower is a unique makeup of these traits, these distinctions, which give you an extraordinary ability in a highly specific domain. And no one else has it in the exact same way. So what does that look like in real life? If you have someone whose nature is highly disagreeable, impatient, most comfortable being at war, extremely high pain tolerance, a little bit of autism, you get someone like Elon Musk. He has a ton of great skills, but if I had to guess, his superpower is something along the lines of challenging requirements and finding a better solution, which is only possible with his unique nature. Is it born versus developed? Probably both. And the vehicle he uses to express that superpower is all the companies he's building. If you were to change the nature and you add patience and you make them risk averse and give them high emotional stability and some wholesomeness, you may get someone like Warren Buffett, completely different person. His superpower is something along the lines of looking at large amounts of information, data, markets, whatever it might be, and spot a pattern or anomaly that everyone else just walks right past. Now, if you love being the center of attention and expressing yourself creatively, you have incredible body awareness, you have someone like Elisa Liu, the gold medalist ice skater. One of her coaches said that she has an uncanny, what does uncanny mean before I use that word? She has an uncanny ability to perform calmly under extreme pressure. And the vehicle she chose is ice skating. If you add a higher tolerance to physical risk and a hunger for adrenaline, you may get someone like Tony Hawk. His superpower is, I don't know, visualizing a physical movement that has never been done before. The vehicle he uses to express that happens to be skateboarding. It could have been snowboarding, gymnastics, cliff jumping, anything. And that's why I think people who try to find their passion tend to go about it the wrong way. Because they look for the vehicle, right? They think, oh, it should be maybe painting or engineering or storytelling. But if you identify your nature, you can find lots of different vehicles for your passion. Your nature is the foundation, the soil, and your passions are the plants that can grow really well in that soil. And while I'm explaining all this, your brain is already thinking in the back of your mind, what's mine? Now, what is your nature? What might be your superpower? And what might be the vehicle that you use to express it? Let me give you some more examples so that you can kind of chew on it a little bit. Maybe you have a unique combination of empathy and spotting patterns because your brain is also quite methodical. And then you're really good at reading people and influencing them. Maybe you're a simplifier. You can take something overwhelmingly complex and make it simple and easy to understand or use. Maybe you're a connector, right? You instinctively know which people and resources and ideas need to find each other to create something amazing. Maybe you're a storyteller archetype and you can take a feeling or an idea and wrap it in a narrative that makes people feel something. And the question is not just, are you able to use your superpower, but how much of it are you truly leveraging versus how much time are you wasting on things that are not your superpower? And by the way, whether you're already running a multi-million-dollar business, we have multiple people in the community who are at that level, or you just want to lock in on your healthy habits or transform your body or your relationships, we're about to start an 8-week goal sprint in the community where you're going to be paired with people who are at your level, going in a similar direction, so we can support each other, get to the next level, while also having a ton of fun. There's different tiers, so if you're an established entrepreneur, you're going to be paired with a bunch of fellow entrepreneurs who are at the same level. So whether you want to lock in, challenge yourself, or just get into an environment of people who go through the same challenges as you, who are at your level, come join us. I believe it is our life's purpose to find what we're made for. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, whether you believe in God or the laws of physics, Mother Nature, all species were made with a specific nature and superpower to survive, procreate, and sometimes even serve the planet as a whole. You have insects that can spray acid, mantis shrimps that can punch harder than a bullet, or some have a unique alarm system. I don't know, they all have something. I believe all human beings were made for a specific purpose too. And you doing something that's draining to you because it's against your nature is like taking a monkey out of a tree and having him hunt fish. He can probably figure it out, but he's just not built for it. Because think about it, why aren't we all tall, handsome, intelligent, highly ambitious, super empathetic, all the good traits? I have no doubt that whatever created us, God or nature, whatever you believe in, is absolutely capable of doing that. But our genetic variety is created intentionally because we're creatures of collaboration. And therefore, we're much stronger and more adaptable when we all have different roles and unique strengths. Think about it. In our tribe, someone needs to be physically strong to kill a buffalo. Someone needs the intelligence to build tools. Someone needs to be nurturing for social cohesion. And yes, we even need that one sociopath in our tribe so that when our enemy tribe is acting up, he can infiltrate their camp at night and just eat a few people's faces. Horrible, but sometimes you're glad when Johnny's on your team. And I think this becomes more and more important in the age of AI, because lots of annoying and simple tasks get freed up. Maybe we get universal basic income, work becomes more optional. Then what will you do with your time? And just to be clear, totally hate AI. Totally hate it. I would never use it. All right, so how do you find your superpower? Well, most of it is actually just about removing things that are getting in the way, things that are blocking us. So I'm gonna have a call with some of the people in the community to see what is holding them back. So I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of questions that you can relate to as well. And I'm not gonna have any answers to it, but I'll pretend that I know what I'm doing. And that's how we trick ourselves through life. The biggest questions that you guys asked in the comments is, one, how do I distinguish between what is my superpower, my actual superpower, and what is the thing that I just learned to be good at? And the other question Scott asked is, what if my superpower is not the thing that I need? Or some version of,
well, I'm good at this thing, but it's not necessarily what I want to do.
What I realized from talking to you guys is that finding your superpower is less about mechanics and more about courage. We think the problem is, I just don't know what it is. I just need to find it. How do I do? But there's some emotional blocker or a story that we have that holds us back from embracing it. And it seems like at the core of it, it stems from one thing. Now let's add some inspiring music here. You've been conditioned to be somebody you're not. Maybe it's from your parents. Let's say you had a military officer type dad, like a Jocko Willink. But if your nature is that you're a creative genius who just goes with the flow, even if you had great parents, you still wanted to meet their rules somehow. Or you adopted some sort of cultural value. For example, nowadays entrepreneurship is really cool, and you gotta work for yourself and don't trade time for money, and you gotta make things scalable. But you enjoy something that isn't scalable, or you just don't know how to make it scalable. And I think a lot of us fall for that. So there's like a should attached to it. And I think this is at the core of why we don't embrace what we're really good at naturally. And then we get swayed away and we learn a bunch of other skills, but then we don't even know anymore what's actually me and my unique superpower versus something I learned to be good at. The key word to look out for is should. I want to do this, but I should do that, and I've done this, so I should do more of this, and it should be scalable. The word should is a clear sign that you deny yourself. There's a part of you that says, I'm this way, but I should be that way. And in the process, you lost your superpower. Your unique strength was taken away. You're a shell of who you could be. Remember who you are! This is what's getting in the way of you doing your most fulfilling work and sharing your unique gifts with the world. And on the surface, this here seemed to be the most common blocker. It's a fascinating concept from the book The Big Leap, which was written by a PhD psychologist. In chapter 1, he talks about the zone of genius. And there's different zones. The zone of incompetence, this is stuff you don't want to do that you're not even good at. It's not the worst zone to be on. The zone of competence is, things that you can do just like everyone else, right? It's just like, yeah, I can do them. The worst zone to be in is the zone of excellence, because it's a trap. It's golden handcuffs. It's something that you learn to be really good at, that you get rewarded for, praised for, but it's not the thing that actually makes you come alive, and it's not the thing that you actually want to do long term. What is a skill that you've become great at because you had to, and now it's a great tool, but it's becoming a crutch or a distraction from the things you have a natural genius for that are most energizing to you?
I can spend so much time hyper optimizing that it takes me away from like the thing that I actually want to do. Working on the webinar, building out the sales funnel, figuring out like how to optimize the conversions. And it's like, no, like I just want to get really, really, really good at trading and enjoy it.
And it's almost like you've become a circus animal that was trained to do something, gets rewarded for it, and it forgets its true nature. And in a way, it's almost dangerous to become excellent at something that you don't enjoy.
What I tend to be good at is live environments like this one. And just for context, like I help product managers get their next job in tech, which is a very specific thing. They earn a lot of money. They earn like up to $500,000, $700,000, $900,000 a year, collected about $6 or $7 million in the interim. And so I started to teach it, and then people became successful more and more. But at the very beginning, I sat down and said, okay, there's 10 areas that you need to know. And so I wrote down guides for 3 of these things, and it nearly killed me. I just couldn't do it. And I made the business work. And right now I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you know what? I really do not enjoy, like I don't want to do these things.
The scary thing about it is that if you end up doing it and people are like, oh, that's actually the best, the thing I like the most, now you're fucked. Now that's what people want more of. One of the worst things is to become wildly successful at something that is against your nature.
I'm gonna have to meditate on that one because that one hurts. That one hurts, right? Like if all these things that I think are competitive advantages are like digging my own grave with those things that I'm putting so much energy into.
Yeah, and here's the thing, it is great to become better at things that you suck at, especially when they're the weakest link or the biggest thing that's getting in the way of you getting to the next level in your career or in your business. But then from there, I think it's continuing to lean into your strengths.
Honestly, I'm going to go back and relaunch the thing, and it's only going to ever include me talking to people.
If you're not sure whether something's a learned skill in your zone of excellence or your zone of genius, here's a great tool you can use. One of the clear signs that something is in your zone of excellence versus in your zone of genius is that in your zone of genius, it is energizing. One of the best exercises that I can recommend to you that I've done is creating a column, draining, neutral, and energizing. And while you're going throughout your day, you just write down as you're doing things, this is energizing to me. Oh, if I could just do this all day, easy. We've all done work at some point where time disappears and you're deeply engaged. And after 3 hours of doing it nonstop, you actually have more energy than when you started. And this is what's neutral to me. I can do it, but it doesn't give me a lot of energy. It's fine if I do it. And then there's draining. And it can even be little things, right? Now that doesn't mean that you should enjoy everything you do all the time, right? There will always be things that suck.
What's the balance between doing what energizes you and what you enjoy with the things that just need to get done? That's
a good question. I think in an ideal world, you spend as much time as possible in the things that you enjoy. But I think a key distinction here is to what is long-term versus short-term. So you can push through pain short-term, and I think that's a good thing. Long-term, I think you want to prioritize what you enjoy because it's the only way to do anything long-term. And the goal is simply to move to the right as far as possible, right? What matters is that your core work leverages your nature. And by core work, I mean the things that you do repeatedly that create the key results and the competitive edge that makes you unique. Now you might be thinking, if I don't enjoy something, does that mean I have to change my entire strategy or my career or my business? Wait, stop. No. Oftentimes it only takes a few small shifts. Sam Ovens, the founder of School, actually gave a really great example of that when I recorded a podcast episode with him.
I think I've made it kind of clear to people that I didn't like making videos on YouTube. I knew I was never going to do that again. We saw some signs that we should be doing some more communication with our customers. And then I was like, I'm going to start like a podcast like Joe Rogan. I did 4 episodes and halfway through the 4th one, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. What I do like doing though is working on my computer. So I was like, the computer has to be the centerpiece of this channel. Generally, if you do it with a friend, it's always more fun. So I'm doing it with a friend. It's podcast, kind of long form style. I'm looking at my computer and talking about school. It's actually what I do naturally every day I don't even feel like I'm making content. And so now I would say it's actually fun to make. You have to look at why it isn't fun. And you have to break it down, because generally you like label it at a higher level. You're like, no video bad.
There are 10 different ways to make content. You can make scripted documentaries, you can interview people, you can live stream, you can build a team and a format that makes the content for your brand or for you. And there are countless ways to grow a business. Having innovative marketing, or engineering the best product, or through networking and key partnerships. The vehicle can be the same, but find the path that leverages your superpower, which tends to be related to the things that are most energizing to you. And that will always come with some things that are draining. And those things can be automated, delegated, or just eliminated oftentimes. Just like, okay, let's just not do it. There's tons of different solutions. Embracing your superpower to still get what you want. For example, you can hire somebody whose actual superpower is to just run the operations on the back end. The next blocker I've seen is what most of this book is about. Believe it or not, only the first chapter is about the zone of genius. The rest of it is about how to not self-sabotage once you find it. Because maybe a part of you feels like things shouldn't be easier or enjoyable. They should be hard, because no pain, no gain. Or maybe you think your nature or superpower isn't good enough, isn't the thing that you need to get what you want. And he describes it as the upper limit problem. When I finally found my interest in making videos, I remember telling a friend of mine how much I enjoyed just talking on camera, and I didn't enjoy all the other stuff around it, and I wish I could just present and share ideas. And he was also starting a new business at the time, and he was like, really, I hate that stuff. I wish I could just continue to tinker on the website and the funnel. He loved building the technical pieces of it. And I was like, what? I hate that. That's so draining. And how can you not like speaking on camera, just yapping into the lens? It's just so easy. And I realized that you'd be surprised that what drains you, others find energizing. Anybody here like doing their taxes? Funny thing is, there's somebody who does. Yes, Julian, there it is. I haven't found a way to like doing my taxes yet. But I'm a big fan of the IRS. Now here's the greatest tool that I've ever tried to uncover things that you don't even know you're great at. Because here's the thing, if you asked a fish what he's really great at, it would never say swimming because it's so normal to it. But usually the people who are closest to you can tell you what you're great at from a mile away without you never even having considered these things. The best thing I've ever done is just ask my closest friends and family what they think I'm really good at. And to me at the time, the answers were really surprising. You can ask them things like, what am I unreasonably good at? What do you come to me for help with? What do you think I underestimate about myself? What's something I do better than almost anyone you know? And especially family and childhood friends are really valuable here because they knew you before society shaped you into someone else. When I asked my sister this at the time, I was very lost. And the thing that she said was, you're really funny. And it was weird because I was in this really intense entrepreneurship state at the time. My immediate reaction was, yeah, well, I can't do anything with that. That doesn't help me build a business. But it turned out to be a useful skill for my YouTube channel later on. Another great question to ask yourself is, what does everyone around me seem to weirdly suck at? Why don't they get this when it's so obvious to me? You ever look around and wonder, why do people not get how would you answer that? Why do people not get how to spell properly and they keep missing their own mistakes? How to tell a story or a joke properly and they start with the punchline? You have to build up to that. Why do people not get how to socialize and just be cool and make friends? Chances are, it might be connected to your superpower. On the flip side, you can also look at what you suck at, because your greatest strengths are usually attached to your biggest weaknesses as well. Creative people tend to be disorganized. Highly organized people tend to be rigid. Very reliable people can be closed-minded. People who move fast make critical mistakes. Now, this is the biggest trap that I've seen people and myself fall into. We find what's energizing, but uncertainty creeps in. And we may wonder, but how could I make that successful? I remember talking to this guy who booked a call with me, and he knew exactly what he enjoyed. He loved hosting events and creating a cool experience and great memories for people, because he said that's what life is really about. But his mind kept going to, yeah, but how do I make this work? That's not really scalable. And at the same time, he was starting a business that on paper looked great. It was super scalable, but he stopped making progress because there was just no juice there for him. I believe the best human creations, inventions, or businesses didn't start with a big plan. They usually start with unreasonable passion, sometimes by accident, and then a plan gets developed after that. Whatever your nature is, you can be wildly successful at leveraging it. It's just a matter of becoming creative and being courageous to be like, I'm gonna find a way to leverage this nature to crush it. Because Alex, there's probably something that compelled you to want to operationalize it and make it scalable. There's probably a bunch of entrepreneur friends that told you can't scale that. Because even the live interactive stuff, you can scale.
Look at Tony Robbins as an example. Clearly, Tony Robbins' business for 40 years has been leaning into what that guy's superpower is.
I think Tony Robbins might not even know how to use a computer, like properly. If you asked him to be like, hey, Tony, can you send over a calendar invite? He's like, I'm gonna have my assistant do that. And that's in his favor, because now he's forced to delegate it. If you shifted 30% of your time away from the things that you're good at or even exceptional at to the things that leverage your superpower, life just gets better. When you're looking for your superpower and how to leverage it in your life, don't start by asking how to make it work. Have the courage to just commit and trust that you'll figure out the how later. Go try that thing that you've been dismissing. Where you go, I shouldn't do that, that doesn't count, that's not productive. I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, but that's how I started this YouTube channel. 6 years ago, when I felt lost and because I just sold my business, on this random weekend, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a funny skit, a video about this thing that I noticed. It was really silly, and I sent it to my friends, and they loved it, and they were like, you gotta share this online. But I realized, this is the first time I actually really enjoyed making something. But I brushed it off because I was like, that's not really a thing, it's not a career option, just making skits, not knowing at the time that it could turn into this. I'm so glad that I had the courage to pursue it. So do something that's fun, just try it out, and you might stumble upon something that seems impossible now. Look around you. In nature, everything is made with a purpose, a unique design that allows it to thrive. There's an infinite intelligence that created all this. How could you possibly think you're any different? And you're not perfectly designed. You were made like this for a reason, including your flaws. So stop being so stingy with your gifts, because the world needs them. Come join the community. We'd love to see you in there, and I'll see you in the next one.